Greetings, Pokefans! Zack Attack here, and we're back with more Draft League. Except this time, I've joined a completely different league, the MDL, and it's a low tier Draft League. So there's no high threats like uh, Meowscarada, Great Tusk, or Dragapult. But that also allows lower tier Pokemon in regular tier formats to shine in lower tier leagues. And they be the high tiers. And it's a really interesting way to do Pokemon draft leagues in general, a low tier, specifically because the way that low tier drafting works, it's still the same snake style we're used to, but it's a tier draft. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. You take one Pokemon from tier 1, two from tier 2, three from tier 3, three from tier 4, and two from tier 5, all rounding out to 11 Pokemon total. It's still the same rules in terms of battling as normal regular tier, but the drafting's a little bit different. And it can cause for some crazy things that happen that you normally wouldn't see elsewhere in regular tier. Because, like I said, lower tier Pokemon shine in lower tier leagues because the competition in terms of available Pokemon isn't as much or as crazy. So, what did I do for this low tier league? Well, I did the same thing for the ZDL. Took over a currently existing coach. And unlike last time, because in the ZDL the team was god awful and I changed the whole darn thing, the coach that took over actually had a solid team. I had the 24 hours for unlimited transactions, and all I made was a Terra change. So, I'm just gonna come out and say it. My team is actually good. It's not one that I would probably normally draft myself, but it's got a lot of good synergy, and the team has a really good synergy with each other. And you gotta like that. Let's go ahead and get into the Pokemon that are on my team, going right on in to this season. So my first Pokemon was my Tier 1. And we're going in tier order here. And we're starting with Tier 1. And this Pokemon is actually pretty solid in low tier. It's got one of those fancy regenerator abilities. And it's just a really good Pokemon just in general. And that Pokemon, hold on. Mean Shao. Mean Shao's a bit of an interesting Pokemon because it's got one of those it's a pure fighting type, which means, but it's got a lot of good solid coverage moves. One of its main that it really likes to use a lot is U-turn, so it can pair that with its regenerator ability, healing it every time it pitches out. By I want to say 30%, 33%. It's something like that. It's a really good healing percentage. Oh my gosh. And with that, I can keep Mean Shao alive longer than it should be alive for. I didn't have a regen Pokemon in my ZDL draft league, so having one here is awesome. Of course, Mean Shao can also get its Fake Out, which can prevent a Pokemon from moving for a turn, and it even gets things like Ice Spinner for coverage against flying type Pokemon, respectively. Of course, this Pokemon, this is a really solid Pokemon. It can break early, and it can be really powerful if set up. Now, I cannot wait to use this thing, especially in a low tier draft. My first tier 2 is a Pokemon that, if you watch my main channel, you're very familiar with, because this Pokemon helped me win my Nuzlocke, as well as Metal Face, but this one specifically. And that Pokemon was the starter Pokemon, Skeledirge. I love me some Skeledirge, and when I saw this, when I had this on my team, I'm like, hello? Choice, like, things like, Torch Song, Shadow Ball, hello? That's amazing. Because Torch Song is one of the best moves in the game in terms of like boosting, because you do damage and you get a free boost at the same time. It's awesome. And I cannot wait to use this thing. This thing is amazing, especially with Unaware. Being able to ignore like stat changes from opposing Pokemon, that just to me spells trouble. And we love some Dirge here on this channel. Let's keep the love for Dirge going. I can't wait. Now, the next Pokemon is my Bulky Water. But from an offensive standpoint, this thing is also really, really good. And that is Swampert. Swampert is a really good Pokemon. It doesn't get priority, which sucks. But it does get Flip Turn, which is basically just a water-type version of U-Turn. It's great. Try it sometime. But of course, just the water and ground stat only giving it 1 weakness to grass. Granted, it's a 4 times weakness, but that's still its only weakness, which is awesome. Because grass types have a whole bunch of other weaknesses that I can also exploit. Swampert is mostly going to be defensive, probably throughout, mocking and training and things like that. But don't sleep on this Pokemon, because from an offensive standpoint, this thing can do some damage, and I cannot wait to use this thing in the future. Now, with my tier 2s out of the way, and a really good strong core of 3 to begin with, it's time to get to tier 3. And what's the first Pokemon in tier 3 that I picked up, you ask? Well, if you've seen my battle with Zacamander, whether it be my side or his side, then you know that the next Pokemon is a literal bloody demon. What Pokemon am I referring to? Well, if you guessed Venomoth, you'd be correct. Venomoth is an interesting Pokemon. It can't tear up, because only the tier 5s can tear it. Venomoth was tier 3. But I still feel like it operates well in a low tier league. Because all the big threats that usually counter it, some are still in this league, we're not going to talk about it, but most of them are not in this league. Because it's low tier. Meaning if Venomoth can get enough Quiver Dances up, this thing goes bloody stupid against a lot of my opponents. And oh my gosh, this thing's crazy. This thing is insane. I can't wait to use this thing. I don't know when my first time bringing Venomoth will be, but oh my gosh, I cannot wait to bring this thing. This thing is going to go crazy, it's going to cook, and we're all going to love it. The next Pokemon likes to go a lot. If you're a Purple Cliff fan, you know that reference 9 times out of 10. Now, this Pokemon is not the kind of dragon you would expect. But it can be pretty crazy when put into the right situation. In the right moment, and at the right time. That Pokemon is Regidrago. Regidrago's main thing is staying healthy so it can spam dragon energy. And Dragon's Maul powers up all dragon moves. This thing goes crazy. In my ZDL, I don't really have a true dragon. Um, this is a true dragon. Bro literally has a Charizard head. This thing's a true dragon. And I cannot wait to use this thing. That 200 HP stat is going to be monstrously helpful when doing prep. And I cannot wait to use this on some of my opponents and make them pay for not picking up Regidrago when they have the chance. For the next Pokemon, I'm realizing I don't really have a Fairy or a Steel, nor do I have a Pokemon that can set up screens. At least very effectively, anyways. So, I need to figure something out. And, of course, the next Pokemon that's on this list is none other than one of the best prankster Pokemon in the, in the draft. Or in this tier, anyways. Klefki. Klefki is a bit of a weird Pokemon because it's not that strong, but Prankster shenanigans are amazing, especially in low tier when you can get off free screens, free Thunder Waves, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. And this Pokemon can do some stuff offensively. Not very much. I'm mostly going to stay defensive. Klefki with Prankster plus screens probably a lot of the time. But this thing is so good. Don't get me wrong. I love Klefki. And I've never used it before, personally, because, I mean, it's a keychain. The keychain gonna do against freaking Ceruledge. But this thing is cool. I like it. And I'm gonna use it. Probably in gimmicky situations. But it's still my Steel and it's still my Fairy, so if I need some offense in that department, I can turn to little Klefki here. Now we're moving on to the tier 4s. And the first thing I'm realizing is that, well, yeah, I have my Grounded Poison, I have my Bulky Water, and I have my Dragon Steel Fairy Court. I mean, it's only 2 Pokemon, but we're not going to talk about it. I don't have my Fast Electric yet. And that is extremely important. I cannot stress enough how important having a Bulky Water is. So, Bulky Water, my Fast Electric is. Fast Electric types are so good in the format, it's not even funny. Like, it's not even fun. They're so good in the format. So, who's from the Fast Electric this time? Well, say hello to Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu is actually a little bit faster than it looks, like a 110 base speed. Hello? I do like having a special attacking Fast Electric more than a physical one, because special attackers are pretty hard to come by in the format. So having a Fast Electric attacker that's a Fast Electric, it's a special attacker that also has psychic coverage, and usually has good coverage moves in general, is awesome. And I cannot wait to use this thing. This thing is going to do some crazy damage. I can already feel it. I cannot wait to use this thing. And we're going to cook with it. I'll feel it. The next Pokemon is it's a creature of the sky. But, of course, you can't, but it's a good creature of the sky. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. It's a cool Pokemon. I like it. It's a creature of the sky. Go Team Sky. And it pairs well with the Pokemon I picked right after it. So, yeah. Yay me. The next Pokemon on the list is Honchkrow. And Honchkrow is a bit of an interesting one. Because Honchkrow has 2 good abilities in Moxie. We love Moxie here. I mean, look at Quaquaval and Gyarados are crying out loud. But the other thing is super luck. And I slapped on a scope lens. I got like a 50% crit chance from super luck and scope lens. Like this thing could go insane. And then I can give tailwind support for my next Pokemon. And this thing is just awesome. It's not the best speed tier in the world, but like, tailwind can fix that. And of course, just having a flying type as a ground immunity is always something that you want to have. And dark flying is not a bad combination. Also, Bombardier was already taken by this point, so we're not going to worry about it. Anyways, actually no, Bombardier is tier 5. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The point of the matter is that this Pokemon is cool. It's cool. I like it, and I cannot wait to use this creature of the sky whenever the time is right. Oh, I love you some Honchkrow. Now, looking onto this team, I wanted my next pick to be something that helps my team out in synergy. I don't have a Rapid Spinner, and I don't have a Grass type yet. I got Defog on a Honchkrow, but I need better hazard removal than reliable, hazard removal than just Defog. So, well, what do? You need a Grass type, you need a Rapid Spinner, but this next Pokemon also has a Wind Rider to pair with Tailwinds from Honchkrow. That Pokemon being Brambleghast. Brambleghast is a bit of an interesting Pokemon. No one really talks about it. I mean, it's literally a tumbleweed, and no one really cares about tumbleweeds, apparently. But this Pokemon is actually surprisingly good in low tier. It also has Infiltrator, so it can break through Substitute, which is awesome. And then, of course, Rapid Spin ability hazards. It can get Leech Seed. It's also my Poltergeist user, assuming this, knock on wood. Yes, do love me some Brambleghast. And I can't wait to use this thing. We'll see how good this thing actually is. I can't wait, and I know you can't either. Okay, hopefully that's better. Then now my next two Pokemon, my last two, are my tier 5s, my tier captains for this league. And a first one that I picked is a personal favorite of a lot of people here on this channel. It's not Appleton. Appleton was tier 4. But tier 5, first tier captain, Rampardos, aka Bubby. Now, Bubby is here to do two things. Well, one thing, and that is to kill a Pokemon upon switching. Rampardos has a base 165 attack, which is neutralized by its terrible defenses and not so great speed. However, this is still Bubby. And Bubby's the GOAT. So let's get one thing straight here. Bubby's gonna cook. No matter what. Love me some Bubby. Love me some Bubby. And Bubby is gonna do what Bubby does best. I mean, I can run Mold Breaker, so I can break a Levitator. Or run Trailblaze, of course. Sheer Force Life Orb to potentially... Well, it doesn't even have to be Life Orb for Sheer Force to be threatening. And that way the damage output is even more. Like I'm saying, Bubby's the GOAT. Bubby's the GOAT. So yeah. Bubby, do all you can do. And to be the GOAT that everyone knows and loves. And my last Pokemon, my last tier captain, is a Pokemon that is known for plot armor. A Pokemon known for freezing. And this Pokemon has caused a lot of trouble for other players in the past. And we're talking about Cryogonal. Cryogonal is an interesting Pokemon. Cryogonal is doesn't have the greatest defense in the world, but I mean, if you overlook that with Cryogonal, Terra Captain, Freeze, Freeze Dry, be like a drive and hold a cup of ice water and go, whoop, you get a freeze every time. Well, most of the time. Remember, it's not 100% accurate, 50% accurate. So yeah, this is a really interesting Pokemon. It's also my Terra Captain. Bubby's Terras, I didn't mention. They were rock, ground, and grass. Cryogonals are ice, steel, and ground as well. Um, I'm really looking forward to this. I and this was the Pokemon I made the Terra transaction on. Originally, it was Ghost and not Steel. I'm assuming Ghost to like spin block because this thing is also a rapid spinner as well. I'm assuming this was like the spin block or to prevent explosion. But no, Cryogonal. I feel like it does better with Steel or Ghost just in general. And besides, you resist all those normal moves with Terra Steel anyway. So I mean, you still live. So it's really not the end of the world. I really like this team. Oh, I guess Ghost is immune to fighting and Steel is weak to fighting, but that's not the point. The point of the matter is that I love this team, and I cannot wait to use it in the MDL low tier draft league. It's gonna be exciting. So that's the team for the MDL, and I'm really excited for this series, this draft, and it's gonna be amazing. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you like Draft League content. And of course, I cannot wait to see you for more ZDL and of course now MDL. And eventually ODL Season 2. We got a lot of drafts coming up. So I cannot wait for all this to continue on. But now I gotta go ask the coaches when they're ready to battle. So I'll catch you all on the flip side. And of course, make sure you have a glorious day. I'm Zach Attack, and I will certainly see you all on the flip side. Peace!